Welcome to the 283rd episode of News Dump, where we run through the hottest topics in the Lewis County news scene and discuss, and they are hot.
Oh, good.
This week. I'm local man Aaron VanTuyl, joined by Chronicle executive editor and local musician Forrest VanTuyl.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good.
Do you want to get right into what you got to plug, or should we run through some sponsors first?
Let's talk to the real sponsors first.
All right, we're sponsored by Goebel Septic, The Roof Doctor, Americool Heating and Air Conditioning, CrossCounty Mortgage with Jacek, Gillispie, and The Farm Store. How did you guys beat the heat yesterday and the day before?
Yeah, I just stayed indoors. I'm a weak man.
Did you go to your pool?
No, the pool's too cold, even though the air's
Wow.
so hot. That's kind of the situation I've got.
What a debacle you have.
I know, and my pool is so deep, and there's no like weigh-in area where there's no like you can't just like
weird
go
flex.
halfway in. You know, you
Yeah.
got to go all the way.
Yeah, you're either you're completely dry or you are in the 3 foot deep end of that.
I sense your pool envy. It's okay. You keep working hard, just plugging away there, Buster. You're gonna be able to save up enough money to get yourself a pool someday.
How big was the hole you dug for that pool?
It's an above ground pool.
Just making sure.
Too close to the aquifer. I didn't want to risk anything out on the Watch Prairie.
I told you about this the other day, but I went down and cleared a little grass down by the river, cleared a little trail down there. Mm-hmm. A couple hours later, a couple of teenagers show up on my doorstep with their tubes. They'd gone too far from Schaefer Park and saw that, thought it was part of the park.
The big opened hayfield.
Yes, and they
thought it was part of the park.
They walked all the way through that up to my doorstep and needed help. So I loaded them in the truck and dumped them back at the park from whence they came.
Did you think when you made the trail that you were probably making an area where people were likely to pull out? Because that's what you did. It's probably going to happen again.
You have a sign that says Kayak Man Land Here.
Yeah.
No, I should put one up, though.
That would be good with an actual picture of Kayak Man on there, dodging rubber bullets.
What if Kayak Man comes up? He's like, I just got out of prison. My first stop was here.
That'd be sick, especially if you had a stolen kayak.
Yeah. Anything else dramatic going on around here?
Nah.
All right.
Pretty normal.
Forey, what you got going on? Tomorrow, I guess it's tomorrow, isn't it?
Tomorrow night, yeah, I'm playing the Juice Box in downtown Centralia with Rose Gerber, great Portland songwriter.
Tell us a little bit about Rose Gerber. What's she do? What's her deal?
Just some like rock and roll Americana kind of stuff.
All right.
Yeah, it's like Lynyrd Skynyrd, but from Portland.
Oh, okay. You've described it perfectly. I'm sure.
I'm just trying to get the people of Lewis County to show up,
I don't know what that means, but hopefully they'll like it. So I
think it's very likable.
Give us some details on this show. How long's it going to go? When's it start? Is there a full bar? Is there food?
It starts at 7:30. There's a full bar. I think you can bring kids in. I think it's all ages. It's a very family-friendly spot.
Are tickets still available?
Oh, yeah.
What songs are you going to play?
I'm going to play, do you want the whole set list?
Well, don't spoil it for people. Just give a few hints, a couple teases. Anything from the back catalog?
I'm going to play all of my hits from the new record, Old Trails.
Okay.
And one or two old songs.
Okay.
And if there's any history nerds there, then I might take a special request for my hit folk song from the 1800s, The Assassination of James A. Garfield.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
If you've been watching Netflix recently, you'll know all about it.
Yeah, I have. I did watch that series. Pretty good. You
Pretty good.
Enjoyed that, didn't you?
I mean, I enjoy historic nonfiction, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was
Isn't
it
that just
nonfiction?
history?
Yeah, just history.
Okay.
You're right. I'm sorry. That was pretentious. Overly pretentious.
Just really.
I like fictional history.
Nonfiction.
Fictional history is kind of its own thing these days, though.
Yeah.
People claim all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, historical
It's
fiction.
their history, but it's fictional to others.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like they may have taken some liberties, but it's pretty
No, that's pretty much how it went down. I remember.
verbatim.
How much are tickets to this program of yours tomorrow night?
Oh my gosh, they don't tell me these things.
They are $15 in advance and $20 at the door.
That's right. Buy them in advance.
All right.
Do you have any green room requirements? Because I know when you showed up here today, you yelled at me and demanded an ice cold beverage immediately. You were kind of frustrated that Aaron hadn't already provided it.
Yeah. My rider, it's called a rider.
Yeah.
And mine's pretty straightforward. It's usually just a handful of NA beers.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm feeling really fancy, like some Cliff Bars.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like to keep it low key.
Fancy.
Have you been on tour with anybody that has had like a notable or impressive or, ridiculous rider?
Notable, impressive, ridiculous. It wasn't somebody I was on tour with, but I did hear about a band that my friend was working production for. So my friend was basically hosting the band at her festival, and they had Dinty Moore beef stew and milk on the rider.
It's kind of gross. I hope this wasn't like a summer outdoor festival.
It was.
Ew.
Oh, yeah. Nothing like a hot can of Dinty Moore in the green room tent.
And then wash it down to the glass of steaming milk. That's
nothing
pretty gross.
like it.
Unrelated, but my dad convinced me when I was a young child, because I go backpacking with him, that Dinty Moore was this gourmet food item, because we would only have it when we were camping. And he fully sold it, and so I believed it until I was a teenager and realized it was really just bad.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's not good.
Cheap stew,
Would you eat it at home?
Yeah.
Really?
I love soup, yeah.
But you would make your own soup, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if there's a fresh can of Dinty
When was the last
Moore,
time you bought a can of Dinty Moore?
Oh, God, I don't know that I ever bought a can of Dinty
that's what
Moore.
I mean.
I feel like it was just always on the shelf at, like, our grandparents' house.
Yeah.
Like Grandpa Ted, big Dinty Moore guy.
I mean, there was probably a lot of it still in the house when you moved in.
I'm sure there was.
Strategic
I think
Dinty Moore supply.
Yeah, strategic Dinty Moore reserves. Times are tough. Time to crack into the...
Should throw your Dinty Moore at the kayakers when they trespass on your property.
Maybe I will. Like, get the hell out of here. Shall we hit the news items?
Sure.
All right, first up, Shayla's Flying Saucer Party.
That's loud. All right.
Canceled.
Why'd you give it that for?
I don't know. I don't know what do we have I
don't think you have a sad one on there. Yeah, that's
one's
kind
pretty
of
sad, yeah. All right. Originally, it's canceled as the museum director departs. It was originally scheduled for September 11th and 12th. Kind of a bad date for flying objects, if you ask me, but what do I know? According to event organizers, they made the unexpected announcement on Thursday. The organizers wrote, although the end is sudden and unceremonious, we hope to resurrect the film festival in the coming years, likely in a new location and city. Shayla's is just losing it altogether. I'll be damned.
Yeah, deal. It feels like it happened really fast, too. A lot of people that were fans of it were quite upset that no one was given a chance to try and save it.
Have you checked on Owen?
He's quite upset, I'm sure. Owen loved this thing.
Yeah,
I think he's been to not just every film festival, but all of every film festival. He's taken in the whole thing. Big fan of the paranormal. And this is commemorating the Kenneth Arnold flight of June 24th, 1947, when he encountered 9 flying craft near Mount Rainier. What do you think Kenneth Arnold saw, Aaron, as an absolute disbeliever in
Frisbees?
UAP? Just really silver Frisbees? Somebody had like the Frisbees on top of Mount Rainier and they just tossed them out there?
Yeah,
and that's
probably.
what Kenneth Arnold saw?
Maybe, you know how like perspective works? Maybe they're just, he couldn't see him and they threw him up in the air and he's like, oh my God.
It's just a shame that it gets canceled in the year of disclosure that people are calling it, and also Steven Spielberg is naming his movie.
Yeah, did you see that yet?
I have not.
No. I assume you have not seen Disclosure Day yet?
No.
Okay. Well, I hear it's either good or bad.
Yeah.
Depending on who you ask.
Yeah, I've read that, it's either one of the great movies or one of the most horrible movies.
Next item, the Sweet Day Midsummer Festival is coming this weekend. So if you have a, dirtbag boyfriend you'd like to see burned alive in a bear costume, this is a place to do it.
I don't get the reference.
It's a Midsummer reference.
I see. Another one of those. I see the intern noted Swede Day, but did not note that Winlock Egg Day is happening at the same time.
Which one would you rather go to?
This comes up every year. I'm more of a Swede Day guy. I like the laid back vibes. I like what they got going down at Swede Hall.
A little too fast paced for you?
No, it's not. Winlock, it's just, I prefer Swede Day. I've covered both as a reporter over the years. In Swede Day, I don't know. I like it more.
All right.
The vibes might be slightly better there.
Okay.
Still like Egg Day, though.
Shots fired at Winlock.
No,
Interesting.
absolutely not.
Next item, local Republicans asked tough questions at latest sheriff candidate forum. Were you at this one?
I was not. I went to the one on Thursday in Adna. This one was on Saturday in Chehalis.
Despite polite behavior, there were indeed plenty of uncomfortable questions at a Saturday Lewis County Sheriff Candidate Forum hosted by the Lewis County Republican Party at the former Olympic Elementary School in Chehalis. Greg Rohr is chair of the Republican Party, and he had a column last week about the truth, pretty much, right?
Yeah,
Honesty.
yeah. It was. We would call it vague booking if it were done on that platform. But
Do you think it may have done vaguely gestured at this event?
I would have a hard time saying no, but I don't know for sure. I know Greg Rohr does not write mini columns for us. He has written 3, 4, maybe 5. And this one did come just before their candidate forum, which focused a lot on the truth, as the whole sheriff race does, seen as the leading candidate, who I would say is the leading candidate, was fired for allegedly being untruthful, which he denies. Tracy Murphy.
And yes, as you mentioned, just like the event last week, the circumstances of Murphy's recent termination from the Centralia Police Department were a frequent topic at this debate. The event featured some tense moments between candidates, including one between Murphy and Rohr, who served as the moderator. In his own response, Murphy said he didn't believe that a Brady letter would affect an active sheriff at all. Seems like maybe there's some...
You think Danny Reardon was behind him? Amen.
Yeah. To say that it makes no difference isn't true, Matt McKnight, one of the candidates, said. Quote, Jonathan Meyer wrote him a letter of recommendation to put him back into JNet. It's not the same. It's not the same, Tracy.
He was talking about another member of JNet who had a Brady letter, not Murphy himself.
Yeah.
That was kind of his defense for saying it doesn't matter too much.
Murphy's response was jumbled, but appeared to question the validity of his own Brady letter. Oh, what is a Brady letter anyway? Why would somebody write this?
Potential impeachment disclosure is the actual name. I don't know this Brady, but he very likely was untruthful.
He was probably a great cop who was railroaded out of JNet.
Probably.
He earlier briefly stated that he believed his Brady letter would be retracted as he challenged his termination from the Centralia Police Department. Sure, that's what everybody says.
I mean, I think he's got a case.
Yeah, maybe.
The unions have a pretty good success rate in situations. I don't know, I would say like this, because this is a pretty unique situation, but I mean, he's got a case and we need to wait, hear it out, figure out how it goes. I do wonder if that'll happen before the primary.
Forrest, as an area man, you vote in Lewis County? Are you registered to vote here?
I just updated my registration, so yeah, I think the next go around I'll be voting here again.
Do you have a favorite in the race, or how closely have you been following this sheriff's race business?
I saw a sign for a guy named Cheese Man.
Well, he's no longer running.
He's not a candidate anymore.
Never mind.
I know, he was my favorite too.
Much to our chagrin.
Yeah, that's disappointing. I have no horse in this race.
Have you been following? How often does sheriff's-related posts pop up on your social media feed, in the news you consume? How much does the algorithm spoon-feed this slop to you?
Not very much.
Must be nice.
Yeah, most of what I knew about the outgoing sheriff I learned from the News Dump podcast presented by the Chronicle.
Yes.
You guys ever heard of that?
Yeah, it's a good one. What do you think of our new album art? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen the new album art. I do appreciate the new sponsors, though.
We
You
got
guys
some
are
good
just
sponsors in
racking up
there.
the sponsorships.
Goebel
This is
Septic,
great.
The Roof Doctor, Americool Heating and Cooling, CrossCounty Mortgage with Jason Gillispie, and The Farm Store are beautiful sponsors.
They really are.
Some say they're the greatest sponsors in podcast history. I don't know.
I've said that.
Yeah, I say it all the time. All right. Do you want to?
I just will say that it got a little repetitive. I'd say what was different on this one, if you want to read the story, is Rohr and Murphy had an interesting back and forth, to which Murphy appeared to say that the allegations against Snaza in his anonymous complaint have not been fully vetted by the feds, and Rohr was making the point, well, then why weren't there ever any charges? But basically, that kind of advanced from the last forum. And I think there's an emerging narrative where maybe we haven't heard the last of the allegations against Snaza if Murphy is elected sheriff.
The vibe I get is that if Murphy gets into office, his prime focus will be proving that everything that got him fired was in fact incorrect, and just go after Snaza and anybody like.
Where have you heard that narrative before recently in politics?
Just picking this out of a tree somewhere.
As you described it, I thought you were going to make that segue because it is pretty close. And I should be clear, I don't know that that's the case, but it seems to be where the dialogue at these things is heading. I continue to think in prediction mode. You want to pick your two, who you think is going to go through?
I mean, Frage, we haven't even mentioned Frage's name in this. I think he's probably running number 2 right now.
That's your guess?
McKnight and Reardon are probably on the outside looking in. If this was a podcast sponsored by a terrible sponsor, FanDuel.
If that happened and Fraze and Murphy went head to head, that would make for some very interesting debates, I feel. Because then you have a true, like, Snaza insider. It's on his command staff. I don't know. I feel like they've been pretty polite so far, but I do think once we move into the primary, whoever is left standing, I assume one of them is going to be Murphy. He's a known candidate who's already run before. I assume the other one's going to be more aggressive when it comes to this whole termination matter.
It will be interesting to see what kind of muck is raked once the general election
the muck will
comes
be a raking.
around.
Yeah.
And as the Lewis County's prime muckraker, how do you feel about the muck?
I'm not a muckraker. I direct traffic for the muckrakers. So.
Okay, you're just in for those muckrakable clicks.
I muckrake the muckrakers.
Okay,
Just
that's what you want to call it.
Yeah.
No, that will be interesting. It'll be. I mean, I would assume that both candidates, if it is indeed Murphy and Frage, which who knows whether or not it will be, I assume both of them will have their form of like an October surprise to spring on people as far as, look what we found out about my opponent.
Yeah. Yeah, I would assume that's the case too. And you thought at this point you would guess Fraze. I would guess McKnight at this point, but
okay.
Both of us have Reardon not looking in, but we have discussed privately that we both respect elements of Reardon's campaign as well. It's not a shot at him. It just feels like he feels like the dark horse candidate.
He feels like somebody we could hang out with, I guess.
Is that how you would put it?
Perhaps more so than maybe the other candidates.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, you know.
You just find him more relatable. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
There was something else I was going to mention, and now I can't remember what it was.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Do you want to talk library? Like civilized people?
We've agreed beforehand to be civilized because we view things differently in this regard. We're going to set the example for the American people.
Yes. This will not be a podcast where two former friends yell at each other about things. TRL Board of Trustees president faces criticism for a list of, quote, desired outcomes. The president of the library, Brian Mitke, is facing criticism after his list of desired outcomes for the regional library system became public. I don't think we need to mention here, but we will anyway. Mitke, friend of the podcast, columnist in the Chronicle, our former coworker. I appreciate Mitke. I don't agree with everything on this list, which critics say reflects a conservative political agenda and an anti-LGBTQ plus viewpoint. It was posted in a TRL facility. One vocal supporter is Lewis County Commissioner Sean Swope. Surprise, surprise. Commenters wrote that the messaging in the document vilifies LGBTQ plus and homeless library users, promotes conservative talking points, and reflects a misunderstanding of why the general public has lost trust in TRL leadership. I agree with a lot of that. A slogan stated in the list of desired outcomes was no rainbow and activist displays, be beige, not rainbow, which is kind of cartoonishly evil sounding. Mitke's ideal library must look a whole lot like back rooms.
So, now that I have let you speak and have your safe space, I would like to have mine.
You can have your safe space.
So his first three bulleted items: no sexuality for kids. Materials about sex, sexual, and gender orientation should be moved from the children and youth sections to the adult section. Agree or disagree?
I agree in principle, but I disagree in how this would
No
be
sexuality
executed.
in children's activities. Agree or disagree?
That implies that there is already sexuality in children's
Correct.
activities. Is there?
Do you have a problem with the rule?
No.
Okay. And then make libraries places of unity, not division.
Okay.
Does this not seem to be a dividing topic?
Should it be a dividing topic?
But that's not the question. He's not asking to remove the materials from the library. He's asking that they be put in a more appropriate place. As a parent, I agree with that. If you go into the rest of the list, I can probably find some more stuff to agree with you on.
Okay.
But his core tenets, I feel like it's against the backdrop of he's the president of a board with a $3.5 million budget deficit. They're going to go to voters. They're not just going to go to voters in Olympia. This is a bit stereotypical what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. He's not just going to voters in Olympia. They're going to voters in Lewis County, Pacific County. What are the other counties? Grace Harbor County, Waukegan County. These are the issues he's hearing in the community, and that's why he wanted to address them. I know Brian wasn't laying awake thinking, you know what I'm going to go do today is crush the spirits of the LGBTQ community. I think what he wanted to do is create an atmosphere that was more likely to draw in more support to dig them out of this hole. But I do understand, and I have many friends, probably more friends disagree with me on this than do. So I understand where you're coming from.
The issue I have with these desired outcomes are, as I mentioned, the implications of saying no sexuality in children's activities. Is there any sexuality in children's activities? Is
It
that
would
like
just
an
depend.
issue?
Like, so I shared with you the last time this came up that there was books at the Shahales Library the last time when I went to go have a look myself because it was so controversial that I wouldn't have wanted my kids to have. Not in that section. Not that I didn't think that they should be able to like have the conversations and learn about those topics. I didn't think they should be able to be 6 years old and walk up to a shelf, open it, and see a cartoon version of a penis.
Okay.
And I don't think I'm like a square on that. I think if you put that in the adult section for youth sexual education, then I think you're empowering the adult a little bit more. And also, just as a former library user, if a kid wants to find it in the adult section, they will.
I mean, if you're making that argument, like if kids want to find it, they will, then like what's the point of any of this?
I think it's an appropriate location within the facility to put the stuff. I think when Brian says, no rainbows, we're thinking beige, he's saying he doesn't think that the children's section should include a large rainbow section that then has books about sexual health right next to the latest Stuart Little story.
Okay, then by that same token, can there not be any books about heterosexual couples?
I mean, there aren't, and I don't believe that there's not like
plenty of books
there's
have.
not. Yeah, but you're moving the target all around.
Well,
The
I mean, this
children's
whole list is
section
moving
does
the
not
target all
have a
around.
heterosexual love area.
Okay.
That's kind of my point, I guess. And I don't. These are not opinions that I hold super strongly. I'm not a huge library user. I'm just saying, demonizing Mitke in the way that he was at the commissioners' meeting is disingenuous at the very minimum, and it's just flat out wrong on the other side of it. Like, I just think that there's a certain segment that just wants to take that somebody wants to change any of this at all, and you can follow that thread all the way back to the administration knows better than the board. Let's hear from the board. Let's get direction from the board. Brian's the board president. His executive director, the interim, has come out and publicly disagreed with him on this. Someone within the library leaked it in a way on Reddit that was meant to draw concern. I'm not saying outrage. I think whoever did it was very legitimately like, this sucks, and I think people should hear, and a lot of people heard that. I think it's a lot more nuanced than that.
I think the nuance is the key. I think you're right on that. And the nuance of this is you can shift a lot of this without too much imagination to align perfectly with the conservative agenda that anything LGBTQ inclusive at all is evil and it's going to send everybody to hell.
Right, but I don't think that it's that black and white. I think that they're not saying they don't want those people to exist or they don't want them to be able to enjoy the libraries or even have the programs. I think Mitke's just saying, as a culture, if you want the communities to support these things, this is what you should do. The other side of it is Mitke is a Lewis County's appointee, and I think a lot of people you and I interact with would agree with you completely, 100%. But if it were put to a vote, these matters, which that's not going to happen. Directly, it's going to be, do you support the library, levy more money for them or not? Like, he's doing his job. Like, he's talked to people in Lewis County. He represents them on the TRL board. This is the overwhelming response he is getting, and he's moving it in that direction.
I think the line, just get back to being a library, you're alienating people. They're saying no. If you put these in line, you are alienating the people that currently support the library to embrace a segment of people that already don't support the library and won't if you make these changes.
But that's wrong on its face, because as taxpayers, we're all supporting the library in the most practical way possible with our tax dollars. So that's the question. It's not, the users of the library who are the most vocal are the ones that are the supporters. That's not how it works. If that were, then maybe this wouldn't be contentious at all, because you'd have a smaller demographic that you'd be appealing to. I think Brian Mitke is appealing to the electorate.
I mean, sure. If that's the way he's appealing to a certain segment of the electorate.
I mean, yeah, I think it's a larger segment than you think. I think in Lewis County it would be the majority. I really do. That's just a guess. But if you put this list in front of him that has caused so much outrage, that has things like no dividing kids from parents, no suggesting they hide things from them, libraries aren't places to teach about sexuality, and librarians aren't therapists, these are points that are going to get amens and not guffaws from Lewis County residents.
What about, where does Black History Month fall in all this?
I don't know. You're really trying to take this. in a good direction.
I'm curious. It says monthly celebrations aren't uniting; they're dividing. No rainbow or activist displays. Would a Black History Month be a monthly celebration?
That's a good point. Sure.
Okay.
But
what about
he's obviously not hearing criticism of that, and it does not necessarily involve people's children and other adults providing them with information that they're informed. I'm not saying that they're saying don't go tell your parents, but they're informed. Like, hey, no one's gonna ever tell anyone what you get on your library card. A person of any age has a right to that.
Yeah.
I mean that's not a direct correlation to Black History Month.
I think that's shifting the blame from parents onto the library.
Fair.
If your kids are checking out books and you don't know what they've gotten, like, you can't blame the library for that. You need to, at some point.
You can if they're literally telling you, here's your library card, and you should never tell it. Like, I mean, I'm a little bit of me as playing devil's advocate, but I understand where you're coming from. I don't think either of us will convince the other's point of view.
I mean, do you want to play make-believe here and imagine a scenario where teenage Aaron and Eric needed some research from a library that maybe they didn't want their parents to know about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Have I told you of the internet?
Okay, the excuse that the internet exists and so the library doesn't need to
what is your tax levy on the internet? What's the internet taking from your wallet?
The internet is taking more from my soul than my wallet.
I'm saying against your will, like as a tax, like I just think view it within that scope. And I wouldn't be so quick to write off people who agree with Brian Mitke as being people who hate the gays. And I feel like that is where it goes. And if you try to debate it too much, it gets shifted to, well, what about this? What about that? Very simply, like his points, I don't disagree with.
The things in these lists are so broad that yes, you could take them to hone in on the finer points you're mentioning. Mm-hmm. But with that, you're taking everything else away too.
I mean, again, it's your interpretation of what it is. It's a list that Brian Mitke wrote up and delivered to the admin. It's not a law. It's nothing. It's a board. The board president, mind you, but it's a list of things he would like seen done, and it's never been offered as anything other than that.
Okay. What was Swope's column about?
This. Why do you ask questions you know the answer to?
Yeah, you just posted online. I wanted to see if you had any details on it.
It's in the story, too. So I think the backdrop to this all came out at the Lewis County Commissioners meeting during public comment yesterday. There were 4 commenters, 3 from Olympia. One was Ray Chapman Wilson, our local Centralia City Councilor. Mm-hmm. And they all had kind of the same things to say at varying levels of intensity. And Swope made a statement of support after that and then sent one in to our reporter that was included.
Did he set foot in the library?
I believe you recall from the last time this popped up that he recorded a video of himself walking into the library.
Oh, right, when he went in looking for porn.
Well, he went to the children's section and found porn, if that's what you're looking for.
He did not find porn.
No, he didn't. You said it first.
He found a biological book that's been on the shelf for 30 fucking years and has never gotten a complaint.
But see, that's my point, is you're not interested in hearing any of the other side because that's not true. He walked in, he grabbed a book off of the shelf. It wasn't a 100-year-old book about, the biological reproduction cycle.
How old was the book?
I don't know, man. Your endless attempt to get out of a differing point of view that makes sense is frustrating.
Okay. The issue I had with that at the time was that if it would have been an issue, it would have, and if somebody, because Swope held a bunch of fucking meetings and invited people.
I wasn't even trying to make this about Swope. I know that's kind of a thing for you. I was just noting there was a video of him in the library, so I know he's been in there before.
Okay.
That was it.
One time I saw a headless man and a haberdashery too.
Okay.
Every bit is fucking appropriate.
I also just will say I have no issue or I'm not opposed to anyone that does have a huge problem with this. I just think it's important to offer what I would consider to be a level-headed perspective from a Lewis County TRL representative.
Okay. God, this is a long story.
Yeah.
Did you read the whole thing?
I have to. I read everything.
Okay.
Well, I only read everything that's produced here. I put a lot of faith in other newspapers' wire services or proofing services.
Oh, now I remembered what I was going to mention on the last story.
Well, we can go back to it. We can start anew on this one if you want.
No, I'm good. We didn't mention that the anonymous complainant remains anonymous.
He does.
Son of a
bitch.
Or
she.
It could be. What if it was a woman?
Could be.
Never mind. Again, we're sponsored by Goebel Septic. The Roof Doctor, Americool, Heating and Air Conditioning, CrossCounty Mortgage featuring Jacek Gillispie, The Farm Store, and Forrest VanTuyl's Rock and Roll show tomorrow night at the Juice Box at 7:30.
Yep.
Tickets available?
Oh, yeah.
Great. You can get them at the door.
You can get them at the door.
Hell yeah.
Sorry you had to sit through all that, Forrest.
Well, now I'm just reading the story on it. I'm reading the Daily World, though, because it came up first in my search.
Oh, that's a whole
But I've got the list here.
that's a whole other funny story that I'll have to tell.
I have
off mic.
no opinion whatsoever about this list. Wow, seems just totally chill. This library really seems like it's trying to make friends with people. All right, that's all I have to say about that.
I just clicked on the opinion page to go to editorials, and I'm getting editorials from 2025. I wonder why.
That's no good.
No new commentary in a year. Interesting.
That's
There we go. It's back up.
Oh, you got to click opinion, I guess.
All right, we're back. It's time for segments, and first up is Tales from the Takes page. We've got the aforementioned column by Swope on the library. We've got Chad Taylor, who asks, Centralia must decide, are you open for business or not? Stop being a tease.
I feel like I like this column as a Chad Taylor return to municipal issues as a former Chehalis City Councilor.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people that dislike it when he's, swinging on the libs.
Yeah. He's swinging up, yeah. This looks fine, I guess. I don't know.
It's a fine piece of opinion, yes.
What else is...
Julie McDonald wrote a book on Tillicum Books closing in downtown
Tillicum Books is
Centralia.
Yeah, get over there.
Oh.
I don't know. Wait, I had correction. I don't know if they're handing over to a new business. I think they'll also have books, but
Okay.
it won't be the same.
Better go cash in my store credit before they close.
Do you have a store credit there?
Yeah.
Wow.
Traded in some books earlier this year.
Yeah, you should get in there.
Yeah.
By June 30th. So
okay.
there is a
Clock's ticking.
There's a clock. Yeah.
Yeah, the new owner is a woman from Fairbanks, Alaska, and she plans to expand the bookstore into offering art as well. But she might not honor your
I don't want to
store
take any
credit.
risks on that $24 store credit.
This
Yeah.
does just mark the continued exodus of our affable downtown shopkeeps, though.
That's true.
We've been bleeding them
We
this
are
year.
2 down.
Yeah.
3, Willie's Sports
3?
Shop.
Oh, Willie's.
Uh,
My goodness.
Dave
Hardware.
Hall is. Yeah.
Hardware store, and then this one. I feel like we're
explains
missing somebody
Chad's
else too.
op-ed.
Yeah, exactly.
Centralia.
Look what you did to Tillicum Books in Trey City Council.
We better go check on Ryan after this.
What if it turns out Tillicum Books was going to open a 100,000 square foot bookstore, and they
bookstore
were
slash
they
data
were
center.
hit by the moratorium?
Do you want to? Can we take a break for some listener mail?
Of course.
We got an email from Allie Picard. It was addressed to me.
Oh, okay. Centralia Port Commissioner.
Typically, I love your hot takes that clearly indicate you have not fully read the news article. Backhanded compliment. However, your conclusion that I want luxury condos on the river is so outlandish, I had to write in with a correction.
That is what I said last week. That
For
it
the
was
record, I
outlandish.
do not want luxury condos along the river. That was one of many ideas from City Council. To be honest, the list of the ideas the City Council has presented to the port has become so much more entertaining than luxury condos. My current favorite is a water park. Yes, a water park. Apparently, with Wild Waves clothing and Great Wolf Lodge being expensive, Centralia has an excellent opportunity to compete with our very own water park.
You do have a lot of water here.
I'd
Seasonal
like
water
to
park?
take the chance to just say hell yeah on this. I'm pro water park.
But anyway, I also told her that she is welcome on the podcast anytime she would like to join us.
Has she been on here before?
I don't think she has.
Yeah,
No, she hasn't.
she'd be a very interesting guest.
So, yeah. Anything else from...
I didn't catch any strays in there. I thought this was only being read because I was going to be the butt of the joke at the end.
No.
Good.
If you were the butt of the joke, I would have dropped this long
You led
earlier
with
in the podcast.
Good.
Let's see. History should repeat itself. I don't think we have a new one since last week. We're recording a little early.
Yeah,
as
that's
this
correct.
is now a Friday podcast.
We will have a new one tomorrow though. And I did get sent in, let me see if I can find it here. I got sent a very interesting history item. Let me see. There was let's see if I can find it. Sorry. Very unprofessional. There was a history forum at the Ole Club last night about Roy Gardner 105 years ago today. So that
Is
would have
he
been
the,
105 years ago yesterday.
Is he like the Ole Club
And he sent along, he did a full presentation, and we're going to try to have Owen do a follow-up just on the anniversary of it. And it's just a cool story anyways, but it's a picture of Roy Gardner being arrested 105 years ago with the caption, "The escape artist eased into Centralia on a night he registered at the Dale Hotel." So I just can envision all this. He gets off the train, he registers at the Dale Hotel, which is the hardware shop, mind you, that just closed, under the name J. Patton, which wasn't a very good choice for a name because it was already owned by the town constable, Luther Patton. He found some dinner and attended a 3-day sensation Centralia was having, the second annual City Home Products educational exhibit at the Maple Street Auditorium. So I'm just imagining all this history. We're on Maple Street now. We're on Chronicle. So there's apparently an auditorium there. That's where the kids skate today. That's what this news item says. So this was the roller drum. And then it said, Gardner found his Castle Rock caper had really set things on end. He switched to the Oxford Hotel and went to a drugstore and bought several rolls of cotton and bandage. With them, he bandaged his head so only one eye and his nose showed. Then he went to breakfast at the Olympic Club, where he mentioned to the waiter he had been burned by gasoline in Tacoma. There,
Classic
a
Tacoma.
Centralia policeman, Louis Sonny, became interested in the gauze work. Gardner apparently had eyes in the back of his head whenever the fuzz was around, took off for a fast walk. He visited the St. Mary's Catholic Church, so just 5 blocks that way. And walked in the nearby Washington Lawn Cemetery. Nobody bothered him.
Wow.
That's all we got. I'm imagining he was arrested shortly thereafter.
What a little trip he had in our fair town.
If you look it up, though, I'm 99% sure of this, but don't have all the details. The officer who arrested him used his fame from getting this well-known con to create a career in Hollywood.
I thought you were going to say he used his fame at arresting this famous criminal to become chief of police.
No, he went to Hollywood and ended up having a career of some sort there based on his notoriety.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Gardner's notoriety, I guess.
Do you have the machete story?
It's up on Cronline.
Is it? I couldn't find it.
You couldn't find the machete story. How helpless of you. Shayless man accused of striking victim with machete. You were looking at somehow 2025 commentaries.
No,
no one else had that problem.
Do you want to give us the rundown? And then
A Chehalis man faces possible life in prison after he allegedly struck a victim with a machete. According to the probable cause affidavit filed by prosecutors, the victim was, quote, fortunate to be keeping his arm.
My mad Paul gets when we play with his machetes. Come on, Dewey. There's nothing wrong with a little machete fighting. Now, on guard!
Got the full clip, huh?
Dewey! Me! I'm halved! Oh, we should have listened to Paul. Dewey, I'm cutting half pretty bad. In case I don't make it, then...
Not able to reattach the top half of his body to the bottom half of his body.
Speak English, Doc. We ain't scientists.
I didn't know you would go for the whole take like that.
It was worth it just to get that little bit in there.
The victim said he went to his ex-girlfriend's home around 10 o'clock to get his belongings. When he got there, the victim's ex-girlfriend met him outside the home, told him he didn't know where his stuff was. The victim said he went back to his vehicle and checked what he thought to be a flat tire, and that's when Fristad allegedly approached the victim and swung the machete at him.
Well,
he tried to block the strike.
This goes to show, it's not worth it, guys. Just leave your shit there.
I would have loved the thoughts of our young intern as the master bladesman of the newsroom. His thoughts on this.
I'm sure he has thoughts. We also have, you want a piece of this? A Centralia woman accused of threatening a man with a rubber ball gun, facing felony charges. She brandished an orange rubber ball gun while inside her vehicle. And allegedly, she did say, you want a piece of this? According to the victim. Yeah. Judge Jolie Yeager indicated she would have likely set the amount much higher if Harrington had any criminal history. No criminal history, just love of the game.
Just got her on a bad day. I heard some of this on the scanner, and there was fear that this was a real gun, so it got treated like a real gun situation by the cops, and just generally not a good idea at all to wave any gun or gun-like object outside your window while driving.
You do a lot of driving. Have you ever had anybody wave a gun at you for poor driving out on the road on tour?
Nope.
Not yet.
Not yet.
There's still time.
Luckily.
Do we have a People's Champion of the Week?
I don't have one off the top.
How about Rose Gerber, who is performing at the Juice
There we
Box
go.
tomorrow
Right.
night?
Yeah, I like that. That works.
Leonard Skinnerd, Americana, out of Portland.
Yes. Good old-fashioned country rock and roll.
Okay. That's about all I've got for notes. Do you want to go through things I may have missed?
I mean, we can if you want to. We've got support sought for families of Chehalis and Onalaska men who died in that motorcycle crash out in Onalaska on Sunday. It crashed with a logging truck, so we've got some GoFundMes attached there and some other ways to support the family. Reliable Enterprises did a ribbon cutting at their new housing units in Centralia. This is for families in the Centralia school district facing homelessness that are moved in here. They do pay rent. I would say the rent is akin to what it would cost to rent an apartment in like 2003 when I moved to Centralia. These specific facilities, but then they're also set up with other resources. It sounds like a really cool program. Grandparents of the Borgen brothers are asking for support for memorial. Those were the two brothers gunned down in Lacey. One of them was a Rainier graduate, and they said sure, but they have to get DOT's permission first. And there's lots of other news on there, but I think we hit all the high ones.
All right. In closing, we're sponsored by Goebel Septic, The Roof Doctor, Americool Heating and Air Conditioning, CrossCounty Mortgage with Jacek, Gillispie, and The Farm Store. Leave us a review and rating on Apple Podcast if you want, or send us an email at chroniclenewsdump@gmail.com.